All right, so we have a search box here and we have it set up to search in one of the columns of our table, which is the product description column. And when we do a search, so let's say that we search with the word frame, and if it finds the word frame in any cell in column F, it will highlight the whole row. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to construct a search box that searches in a column and then highlights the whole row using conditional formatting if it finds what you're searching for. So let's dive right in. All right. So let's start by constructing the search box. So to construct the search box, we're going to go to the developer tab on the ribbon and we're going to go to insert, and then we're going to insert a text box, an ActiveX control text box. So when you click on it, you're able to draw the text box like this. However, this text box needs to be linked to a cell in order to output what you're typing in it to the cell. So we're going to link it actually to the cell just under it so that what you're typing in it when it's linked to the cell would be invisible, because then the cell will be under the text box and it will be invisible. So in order to link it to a cell, we're going to right click and then go to properties, and then here in the linked cell, we're going to link it to the cell under it, which is B2. So we're going to type B2 here, and then we're going to close this window. And now if we select our text box and then get out of design mode by clicking on it and deselecting design mode, if we type something, anything in the text box, and then click on design mode again and move the text box, you'll see here that what we've typed is now in cell B2. So now we can construct our formulas and our conditional formatting and everything to be linked to cell B2, because whatever we're going to type in the text box is going to go to cell B2. Let's move the text box back to cover cell B2. We can even, if we want, we can select cell B2 and make the font white as well so that everything is invisible. That's something that you can do as well. So let's put it back to cover cell B2. And now let's construct our conditional formatting formula. So what we're going to do, we're going to build a formula that would check if cell B2 is not blank. So that's the first check that we want to do. And then the second check is to search for the word that we're going to type in column F. So because we're going to apply conditional formatting to all the rows and cells in the table, then we're going to start here as if we're doing the conditional formatting, and we're going to start on the first row of the data. So we want to test two conditions, so we're going to use the AND function to test two conditions. The first condition is that B2, and we're going to absolute that because we don't want our reference to move, is not equal to a blank. And then the second condition we're going to test, we're going to actually use the search function to search for our word, which is going to also be in cell B2, and we're going to absolute that as well. And we're going to search for it within this cell here, F6. But because the conditional formatting will be for all the cells in the table, we need to make sure to absolute the column for column F, because we want to highlight the same row where we would find the word in column F. So we need to make sure that the reference is locked to column F. And then we're going to close the brackets for the search function. And because the search function, when it finds what we're searching for, it produces a number that is greater than 0, because it produces the position of what we're searching for. So the position starts it could be 1 or higher. Then we want to check that the search is greater than 0. So that's our second logical test. And then we're going to close the brackets here and press enter. And here you can see here that we get a value error for this row, and this is because we couldn't find what we're searching for. And here this condition was false because there's something here in the cell, but we also could not find what we're searching for. And with the search function, when you can't find what you're searching for, then you get a value error. However, if we drag the formula down and we would search here, for example, for the word frame, you will see here that the rows where we have the word frame in the product description are now having true values, right? So if we're having a true, then the conditional formatting is going to work in these rows. So that's good. We now managed to build the formula. So we're going to copy this formula here, and then we're going to select all the rows of our table and go to conditional formatting, new rule, and we're going to use a formula to determine which cells to format. We're going to paste this formula and then click on format and then fill. And here we're going to fill it with yellow, and the font will be bold and also black in color, and press OK. Press OK again. And as you can see here, when you have the word frame in column F, the whole row gets highlighted. We're just going to delete this formula because we don't need it anymore. As you can see, we now have the whole row highlighted when we find the word frame in column F. You could even filter the table by color. I'm going to press Ctrl, Shift, and L to apply the filters here and filter my data by color. I'm going to press Ctrl, Shift, and L again to remove the filters. And there's something here, which is that if you copy one of the rows here that contains the word frame, and let's say you added more rows to your table. So I'm going to paste it here. And as you can see here, this row that contains the word frame has not been highlighted using conditional formatting like the other rows. And this is because the formatting is not being extended to this row. You could either extend it from the conditional formatting by basically clicking here and then manage rules. And for the rule, you can just make it so row 299, or you can create a table out of your data. So if I select any row in my data and then press Ctrl and T to create a table, and as you can see here, the table does have this blue color, but you can remove all the styling from it by going to table design and clicking on clear. So this removes the styling. You can even rename it if you want. However, now if we add an extra row here to our data that contains the word frame, as you can see here, if we add an extra row to the table, the conditional formatting is going to be extended to that row and it's going to be highlighted. So this is one of the advantages of using Excel tables. So if your data gets updated with new rows, it's a good idea to create a table out of your data if you have conditional formatting applied, because then this will extend the range of the conditional formatting. One more point to mention is that because we used an ActiveX control object, which is the text box that we used as a search box, when saving our file, we would need to save it as an Excel macro-enabled workbook with a .xlsm extension, as this workbook now effectively contains VBA code. It's not an issue, but it's a point worth mentioning. So that's it for our lesson today. If you've watched till this point, thank you so much for watching. And please make sure to like the video and share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified with all the new videos. And please make sure to follow us on social media and join our Telegram channel. You'll find all the links down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.